Hi, and welcome back to another episode. Today I'm making jalapeno popper cheese muffins. It's a recipe I made once with disastrous results, so let's see if I can do better now. I'm starting off by preparing all the ingredients, slicing up some jalapenos, or the closest thing I could find in my supermarket, and taking out the white stuff and as many of the seeds as I can. I'm putting them all into a small bowl for later. Then I'm cutting up some cheddar into 1-inch cubes and putting them into the bowl as well. And 1 cube for the cook. Onto the batter. First, the dry ingredients. Into a large bowl goes 2.5 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, salt, and onion powder. I'm supposed to add garlic powder as well, and later I'll tell you why I'm not. Now I'm adding the cubes of cheddar, about half of the jalapenos, and finally 1/3 of a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Mix it all together until it's combined, something like this. In a smaller bowl, I'm adding an egg and whisking it. Then adding a cup of milk, half a cup of sour cream, and 4 tablespoons of butter, which has been melted and cooled back to room temperature. Now I'm just whisking it a little until combined. With both bowls at the ready, I can start mixing the wets and the dries. I'm just gently folding the wet ingredients little by little into the dry ingredients. This is also where I messed up last time. The batter gets quite tough at the beginning, so use a nice and sturdy utensil when folding it. Last time I decided to just use the whisk I was already using, and it had this little plastic ring as decoration on the front of the handle. Well, long story short, it broke, I didn't notice, and the plastic ended up being baked into the muffins. I didn't notice until I tried it, bit into something hard, and ended up having to throw them all away. Not again. With the batter done, we can move on to the filling. First, the cream cheese, which is the reason I didn't add any garlic powder. The only cream cheese I could find was garlic flavored one, and I'm just hoping that it isn't too garlicky. The cream cheese needs to be beaten until creamy, but I don't have an outlet on this table, so... Oh god, is that what I look like from behind? Anyway, once sufficiently beaten, I'm adding a 1/4 cup of the batter and beating again until everything is smooth. Last but not least, I'm adding the rest of the jalapeno. I have one of these silicone cupcake / muffin trays, so I don't need to butter it up, and can start by adding the batter into the cups. Spoiler warning, I added too much batter. A heaping tablespoon per cup is definitely enough. Then I'm adding a tablespoon of the cream cheese mixture on top, and finally topping everything with the rest of the batter. And because this still doesn't have enough cheese, I'm adding some of the Parmesan on top. Into a preheated oven it goes at 190 degrees Celsius for 20 to 50 minutes. Oh, looks like my roommate made an appearance. Good thing he didn't touch anything. I had them in there for about 25 minutes, and this is what they look like. As I said, I added a bit too much batter. Now I'm letting them cool for about 5 minutes on my very professional wire rack. Okay, now I'm just going to pick the nicest looking one and... Oh, okay, should have let it cool for a little bit longer. Anyway, here it is, the jalapeno popper cheese muffin. Let's see if it's interesting on the inside. Oh, sorry for crushing it a little, but yeah, you can see the cream cheese in the center and the little bits of jalapeno everywhere, but how does it taste? Well, it'll come to no surprise, but it's really, really cheesy. I think I could have added a bit more of the jalapenos, but this tastes really good. And I definitely can't eat more than just one a day because these are dense.